11 elections, Nigerians appeal for peaceful conduct. Plus, Nigerian Army Task Force Brigade in Goza secures the freedom of Boko Haram abductees. Welcome to the news on NTA International. I am Chinedu Obike. A new Trafficking in Persons Enforcement and Administration Act has been assented to by President Goodluck Jonathan. To this end, Nigeria now has one of the most advanced institutional and legal frameworks for combating trafficking in persons worldwide. The Director General, National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons and Other Related Matters, Beatrice J.D. Agba, said this at a media briefing in Abuja. Correspondent Gabriel Odu reports.
In 2011, the Federal Executive Council proposed a reenactment of the NAPTIC Act to make for a more robust legislative framework for combating human trafficking in Nigeria. What therefore are the new features of the Act? Director General NAPTIC explains.
One of the most salient points now is that the law expressly prohibits the engagement of children below the age of 12 as domestic workers. This is to be distinguished from child fostering. You can't employ anybody below the age of 12 as a domestic worker at all in any part of the country. The designation of the Executive Secretary has now changed to Director General.
Another important feature of the Act is the provision of stiffer punishment for defilement of a child. In Abuja, Gabriel Odu, NTA News.
In another development, President-elect General Muhammadu Buhari has expressed appreciation to the people of Imo State for their support in the just concluded presidential elections. General Buhari was speaking in Owerri at a meeting with APC leaders in support of Governor Okorocha's re-election bid. Chuma Wankwere reports.
General Muhammadu Buhari said he was overwhelmed by the support of Imo people and particularly Governor Okorocha for his tenacity of purpose, which he said contributed much to the victory of the party. He called on Imo people to come out in their numbers to vote for Governor Okorocha in this Saturday's election. Governor Okorocha thanked the president-elect for his doggedness throughout his campaign period and called on him to use his position now to reconcile differences and be president for all, irrespective of party, religion, and tribe.
And I told the world group president that we are coming will stop the polarization between North and South, East and West, Christian and Muslim.
APC National Chairman Chief John Oyegu described Governor Okorocha as a man of vision, having associated with the APC from the age of formation. He reminded Imo people that Imo is an APC state and should remain so come April 11. General Buhari later introduced other APC Guba aspirants from Abia and Ebonyi, as well as welcomed new members into the party. From the International Convention Center in Owerri, Chuma Wankwere, NTA News.
Similarly, issues bordering on defection and realignment have continued to dominate public discourse following the outcome of the presidential election as the nation prepares for the gubernatorial and House of Assembly elections. Ignatius Nkwo reports on matters arising.
As Nigerians are already looking forward to the governorship and State House of Assembly elections across the country, expectations and feelings are becoming high by the day.
We appreciate what they did in the presidential elections, but we need them to make their staffs come in time. Let the voters start accreditation in time.
I don't believe that the security force should be used as agent towards the will of people.
And for the former special advisor to the president on political matters, Ahmed Gulak, the alleged report that he has defected to the APC is false.
I repeat, I have not decamped from PDP to APC. I remain a solid pillar of PDP and will continue to be loyal to PDP and will continue to serve PDP.
Meanwhile, the spokesperson of APGA in Abia State, Ejike Oji, has called for the fortification of security in Abia State during the forthcoming elections.
To truly safeguard the lives, properties and rights of the people of Abia State and Nigeria in general. Violence can never be the answer.
The governorship and state house of assembly elections holds on Saturday, 11th of April, 2015 in Abuja. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Countdown to 2015 governorship and House of Assembly elections. Party stalwarts are expressing more solidarity with their candidates. It was in line with this that South leader Edwin Clark appealed to the people of Rivers State to put aside grievances and vote the PDP for progress. Uche Nwizu reports.
For his love for River State, especially the riverine areas, Chief Clark appealed to the people to vote for all the candidates of the People Democratic Party in the April 11 elections. He said it was the only way they can protect the rich economic and social heritage of the state.
Let us sink our differences. Let's sink our pride. Let's sink our anger in furtherance of our identity in River State and in Nigeria in particular.
Edwin Clark insisted that the PDP still has a stake in River State, and so the people must ignore any call to the contrary. Uche Nwizu, NTA News.
Moving on, 72 hours to the governorship and House of Assembly elections, Independent National Electoral Commission has been urged to provide solutions to the problems encountered during the March 28 process. National Chairman of the Labour Party, Alhaji Abdul Kadri Abdul Salami, made the appeal while speaking with newsmen in Abuja.
INS should perfect the card reading. INS should watch their staff. Their staff are the greatest enemy of Jiga. They are sellout. In most cases, they compromise against the principle of democracy. And the military, they should steer clear of carrying ballot papers, snatching ballot boxes, harassing and intimidating people, shooting all over the place, particularly in Delta and Ebonyi State. They have no business in that. If they cannot keep the democracy, let them remain in the barracks.
Alhaji Abdul Salami urged Nigerians to vote for Labour Party's governorship and House of Assembly candidates on Saturday. The issue of peace and peaceful coexistence was the thrust of a one-day summit held by the Diaspora Integrated Association in Abuja as representatives of the group who monitored the recently held election across the country. Radio reports. Taiwo Dubeso reports that a citizen-to-citizen peace accord was thereafter signed to say no to election violence in Nigeria.
There were a lot of bloodshed. There were a lot of properties worth millions of naira damaged.
The place is empty. Our parents, everybody are here. Many of them are in the camp.
About 9 deaths were reported. And it was very worrisome. They killed about 2 persons during the election. And they burnt down INEC office in Mbitolu.
With these reports of fatal incidences and countless hate utterances across the country, the group say leaders, politicians and Nigerians seem to be disconnected from the peace accord signed by the 2 major actors before the recently held presidential election in Nigeria. And as the nation approaches the second phase of the election on April 11th, representatives of the group from the 6 geopolitical zones came together to sign another peace accord, this time citizen-to-citizen peace accord, for Nigerians to reject all forms of violence, verbal or physical, which is capable of causing disunity in Nigeria.
Now it is we, the Nigerians, the citizenry, we have now agreed that there will be no more violence. We are tired, we are gone, we are free, we are not going to do that again. And we say we are not giving take instruction from anyone, no matter the source.
With the signing of the peace accord by representatives from the geopolitical zones, it is expected that the sermon of peace will get to Nigerians at the grassroots, and from our hearts, we will stand and say no to violence before, during, and after elections in Nigeria. In Abuja, Taiwo Odugbeson, NTA News.
Thank you, Taiwo. Ahead of the gubernatorial and state assembly elections, residents of Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, have to enjoy relative peace with expectation that the next phase of the 2015 general elections are conducted under a peaceful atmosphere. Correspondent Maimuna Garba reports.
The war against Boko Haram is yielding the desired result as areas affected by insurgency have continued to remain calm even before the commencement of the 2015 general elections. This is evident in the conduct of the presidential and National Assembly elections in Maiduguri, and surrounding areas hitherto was hit by insurgency were successful devoid of any attack. Residents said with the feat attained in the fight against Boko Haram, the next election will be peacefully conducted, and appeal to security operatives not to relent in ensuring that peace prevails.
At least Maiduguri can boast of being the most peaceful. The election has been conducted peacefully.
The next election is going to be more peaceful than the presidential election. Because why? We need peace in Borno State actually.
The police in Maiduguri has assured a peaceful conduct of the exercise, stressing that it has mobilized and briefed its men who are fully prepared for the elections.
The last presidential elections, there were a number of lapses we have observed, and those lapses we have tried to correct.
It is expected that people will consolidate on the successes recorded by the military in the ongoing fight against Boko Haram to ensure that the relative peace attained is sustained. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba.
The Chairman House Committee on Finance, Abdul Mumini Jibril, who was re-elected as a member of the House of Representatives on the platform of the All Progressives Congress, has offered himself for the position of Speaker in the 8th National Assembly. Representative Abdul Mumini spoke to national correspondents on the rationale for his aspiration.
It is countdown to the 8th National Assembly, and barely 60 days from now, a new Speaker and Deputy Speaker should be elected to lead other principal officers and members of the 8th House of Representatives. Chairman House Committee on Finance, Abdul Mumin Jibrin, says he is adequately equipped to be the next Speaker. The lawmaker notes that at a critical time when Nigeria requires far-reaching economic reforms due to declining global oil prices, the Speaker must be one whose depth of experience and deep knowledge of public finance and economy is unassailable.
My educational training and legislative experience, as well as my rich local and international experience, stand me in good stead to be the next Speaker of the House of Representatives.
He calls on other lawmakers in the 360-member House not to discountenance his achievements in the last 4 years, especially in creating the platform for increased internally generated revenue and improved medium-term expenditure framework analysis, and for raising the bar on oversight of the Nigerian economy. In Abuja, Ifeanyi Okafor, NTA News.
This is the news on NTA International, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. Time now for a short break. We earlier informed you that President Jonathan has assented to a new Trafficking in Persons Enforcement and Administration Act. You also heard that as the nation gets set for April 11, Nigerians have appealed for peaceful conduct. Details in a moment.
Nigerians, we celebrate your courage and resilience for coming out massively to vote in the just concluded presidential election. But remember, why should I stand on the queue for hours for my vote to be rejected and cancelled? To make your vote count, you must do the following. You must thumbprint within the box representing the party of your choice. Do not thumbprint on the line. Do not allow the inks to spill over. Fold your ballot paper vertically before you drop it inside the ballot box. Remember, thumbprint inside the box. Let's keep doing the right thing. This message is from the National Orientation Agency, funded by the European Union through the UNDP DGD2.
Thanks for being there. The chairman, Nigerian Christian Pilgrim Commission and Primate Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, Most Reverend Nicholas Oko, says in view of the spiritual benefit of pilgrimage, more Christians will be given opportunity to perform the exercise. The primate stated this at the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between the Commission and the National Lottery Regulatory Commission. Ruben Okala reports.
Concerned with the need for more Christians to perform the holy pilgrimage to Israel, Rome and Greece, the Nigerian Christian Pilgrim Commission is introducing pilgrimage lottery scheme. The Primate Anglican Communion, quoting from relevant scriptures, explained that lottery is divine but must be played with integrity.
So through it, they will be able to win a seat and be able to travel to the Holy Land.
The two agencies see the collaboration as beneficial to Nigerians.
Then the process is transparently done, that whoever that wins is actually given the prize. In this case, the trip to the Holy Land.
50% of whatever comes in is going to be used to run the entire process. That means the free tickets that pilgrims are going to get will also come from there.
The 2015 Easter pilgrimage to Israel, Rome and Greece was recently concluded, and about 500,000 Nigerians performed the exercise. In Abuja, Ruben Okala, NTA News.
In another development, in a bid to reach out to and positively touch the lives of the less privileged in the society, a faith-based organization in Abuja, House on the Rock, the Refuge, has distributed some items to the people of Galadimawa community in Abuja. Correspondent Justin Bemuji reports that the outreach program was tagged the King's Banquet. The report.
In line with biblical teachings of love and charity, House on the Rock, the Refuge Ministry embarks on a routine outreach program, the King's Banquet, aimed at impacting on the needy in the society. This year's The King's Banquet, the ministry beamed its searchlight on the Galadimawa community in Abuja, where hundreds of men, women and children felt the love of the season and were catered for through a comprehensive medical attention and distribution of food items and clothing.
He said the wages of sin is death. But the gift of God is eternal.
The resident pastor of House on the Rock, the Refuge, City Gate, Abuja, Pastor Goodheart Ekweme said the intention is to express the love of Christ to everyone, as well as encourage Christians to rise and share that which God has given to them with everyone.
We believe that as Christians, we must endeavor to reach out to our neighbors, irrespective of creed or culture or tribe. We're instructed by God to love one another, be your brother's keeper. And we have been loved by God, and we feel greatly indebted to express that love to all around us. And this is one of the ways we've done that in the past few years as a church family.
The beneficiaries could not conceal their joy and appreciation to the ministry for touching their lives.
The church has actually demonstrated that they are committed to the teachings of Jesus Christ.
I'm so happy, then do well. God will bless them.
They also visited the Zidu community in Abuja to extend the same hand of fellowship to the people. In Abuja, Justin Bemunyi, NTA News.
Now on insurgency. The Nigerian Army Task Force Brigade Goza, Borno State, has secured the freedom of 4 young boys under the tutelage of Boko Haram terrorists. This was revealed during the just concluded media tour of the general operational areas. Defense correspondent Mohammed Abdul Qadir, just back from Goza, completes the story.
These 3 underage children breathed the air of freedom from where they were said to be kept while undergoing training to be conscripted into the forces of the terrorists.
Then he has been with them up to the time they went to the
In the case of Hassan Usman, picked up by the terrorists during the raid of Goza, had his right hand amputated for alleged complicity in their mechanic workshop.
They thought he stole the fuel, then they now amputated his hand.
Suka ce min ni Boko Haram suka kama daga dutse.
Explain.
Sai na ce musu ni makaniki.
He said to them he is a mechanic.
Sai suka zo suka dauke suka ce tunda kai makaniki ne za mu ajiye ka wajen.
They took him. They said, as you are a mechanic, we will keep you under us.
While the young men are re-acclimatizing and undergoing reintegration back to the community, normalcy has fully returned to Goza, rated to be one of the biggest cities in Borno State.
We were kept under close captive house arrest for 8 good months. But now we are not fearing seeing the military, the way they took off the very day, then we were impressed.
It's indicative that they expect much, but they are confident now. The confidence of the people is improving. And
the residents of Goza appeal to government and non-governmental organizations for food and other logistic support to rebuild their homes and means of livelihood. On board NAF Mi-24 attack helicopter, the team flew through Maiduguri back to base. In Abuja, Muhammad Abdel Kadri, NTA News.
Many thanks to you, Muhammad. Medical supplies reached Southern Port. In spite of the availability of several TV stations for viewers, it is hard for most of them to do without watching the NTA. This was the submission of a delegation of the Southern Kaduna people from Kafancha at a meeting with top management of the NTA. Adebola Brookston Sunday was there and now reports.
With rapt attention, the Director General of the NTA, Shola Omali, listened to Major General Zamani Lekwat, the leader of the delegation and a delegate to the 2014 National Conference.
That you are a very effective DG.
Their message was on how they will not be left out in the scheme of things under the developmental projects of the NTA nationwide.
The other TV stations, yes, only people who have satellite dishes can watch others. And the NTA organization should be happy that some people somewhere in Nigeria are hungry for their service.
Digitalizing it, yeah, good news. I'm happy about that.
Seen free of charge. Mr. Omole says NTA is proud to have the entire nation at heart.
We have decided that we're going to go step by step to begin to digitize other cities. And Kafanchan just happened to be one of them. The pledge that we can make is over the next, say, 3 to 6 months, our people in Kafanchan should see a difference. Our technicians will do the magic. It will be in such a situation that people can watch NTA effectively in Kafanchan.
The delegation says they are pleased with the feedback as their mission to the NTA's headquarters is accomplished. In Abuja, Adebola Brookslyn Sunday, NTA News.
Medical supplies reached southern port city as intense fighting is reported in Yemen's Aden. Iranian President Rouhani links Iran's nuclear deal to lifting sanctions as UN Secretary of State John Kerry accuses Iran of supporting Houthis. Details with Basi Taikman on a foreign scene.
Saudi led strike against suspected fighters in Yemen have continued for the 15th day, and rockets have reportedly landed on houses. The World Health Organization says at least 643 people have died and more than 2,200 have been injured in the conflict since March 19. Tens of thousands of families have also been displaced, a situation WHO describes as critical. Iran president says country will not sign final agreement unless all economic sanctions are lifted immediately. He was speaking at the Iran's Nuclear Technology Day, which celebrates the country's nuclear achievements. Iran and 6 world powers reached a framework agreement last week aimed at keeping Iran from being able to develop a nuclear weapon. The deal is to be finalized by the end of June. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry has accused Iran of supporting Houthis, noting that 2 warships have been sent for piracy reasons. And in Egypt, bomb attacks in Sinai have killed police officers and civilians. Military officials say the attack happened at 3 different locations. The officials spoke off camera because they were not allowed to speak to the media. In Abuja, Basi Taipang, NTA News.
And just before we go, let's join Kene Emabodike for sports update.
Nigeria Super Eagles will battle with Egypt, Tunisia and Chad in the qualifiers for the 2017 Africa Cup of Nations, which will now be held in Gabon after the West Coast nation was chosen as host Wednesday by CAF's Executive Committee. Stiff competitions equally abound in other groups, with reigning champions Cote d'Ivoire facing Gabon, Sudan and Sierra Leone in Group I. The qualifiers will begin in June. Head coach of the national men's under-23 football team, Samson Siasia, believes that his squad will come out victorious when they confront Zambia in the crucial second leg final round 2015 All-African Games qualifier Sunday in Lusaka.
These guys are going to be under pressure. If we play according to instructions, just like we've been practicing, we'll just catch them, wait for them and wait for the fast break on how to catch them.
Similarly, Super Falcons say they are battle ready for their visiting Malian counterparts in Friday's must-win second leg final round 2015 All-African Games qualifier at the Abuja National Stadium. The first leg ended 1-1 in Bamako.
Nothing short of victory on Friday against Mali. We've played draw in an away game with them. Coming here, I think we're ready to give our best. If we can draw it down, they can actually fall here as well.
Nigeria dropped 3 places to 45 on the world and 1 place to 8th on the continent following FIFA's latest world rankings released on Thursday. Algeria, Cote d'Ivoire and Ghana are the top 3 ranked sides in Africa, while Germany remain at the summit of the standings with Argentina in 2nd and Belgium overtake Colombia in 3rd. With Sports Update, Kenei Mabodike, NTA News.
And that's the news at 7. Thanks for being there.